Welcome to the most important episode of the Reboot franchise for two reasons. One, it is our first Super Bowl appearance. It has taken us a few seasons to get here, but Todd Bowles' leadership has taken us here. And two, we will be playing last year's fire sale franchise in the Super Bowl in Dallas. The 8-8 Saints. And the Saints have clawed their way to the Super Bowl from the wildcard round, beating the Cowboys 49-31, beating the Seahawks 35-24, and then beating the Redskins 34-7. And it all comes down to this matchup right here. So let's take a look at this Saints team that has clawed their way to the Super Bowl. Rookie quarterback Connor Nutton, who happens to be a close friend of BJ Wiener, has led the team, 80 overall. The running back is Duke Johnson Jr. and, well, as you would expect with the Saints, quite a stable of running backs here with high overalls. But Duke Johnson Jr., the number one guy for them. Fullback Lonnie Pryor, 78 overall. The wide receivers, Michael Thomas, 96. Willie Snead, 92 overall. Josh Doxson on the team, an 82 overall. And then it gets down to Carrington Ballantyne, third-year player, 74 overall. The only thing here is obviously great overalls. Just the speeds is maybe where obviously we can have some success, and I say stuff like that regularly, but then you take a look at the route running, 94, 95, 87. You don't need to be that fast if you run perfect routes, so we'll have to look out. Kobe Fleener, 84 overall, still that tight end. Left tackle, Terran Armstead, 87 overall. Left guard, Andrus Peat, 86 overall. The center, Matt McDaniel, a rookie out of Wisconsin, 86 overall, and actually, that's the same school as his quarterback, so center-quarterback relationship sticks together there. Maybe that's part of the reason for their success now when it comes down to it. Good communication between those two guys. Right guard, Larry Warford, 89 overall. And the right tackle is Ryan Ramczyk, 89 overall. And of course, out of Wisconsin. So a lot of Wisconsin players on this Saints team. When we were in charge of the Fire Sale franchise, we like to go to Michigan State. They like to go with Wisconsin. Jihad Ward is their left end, an 82 overall. The right end is Cameron Jordan, of course, the 93 overall. Defensive tackle, Sheldon Rankins, 87 overall, and if they're playing a 4-3, it's Nick Fairley with a 77 overall. Left outside linebacker, Haoli Kikaha, 81 overall. Middle linebacker is John Tobeck, also out of Wisconsin, a 99 overall no less, and if they happen to be playing a 3-4, it's Max Bullough, and out of Michigan State. But Wisconsin absolutely all over this team, just like I said with, Michigan State when we were in charge of them. Also went to a couple of other schools, of course. But Tahir Whitehead, the right outside linebacker, 78 overall only there. The cornerbacks, Courtney Hodges, second-year player out of Pittsburgh. We did like this guy, weren't able to get him, and he's got some good stats. Then it's Marshawn Lattimore, 85 overall. Didn't improve too much. We might have expected more of a jump from him in those 3 years that he's played. And then Delvin Breaux, also 80 overall, and not bad speeds between any of them. Patreon Lawson is the only guy that maybe is significantly worse than the 50 is Von Bell, 83 overall, and then the strong safety, Kenny Vaccaro, 83 overall. So, not the world's strongest team in terms of like every single position being very strong. The offense certainly has a lot of strong positions, but the defense certainly has some places we can try and take advantage of their players. Let's see if that works out for us. But remember, this is not the first time that we have played these New Orleans Saints as the Reboot franchise. We have played against them in the past.
Sam Cook trying to punt and it's blocked. The Saints have the advantage now. They recover it at the 5-yard line. And now Jaquan Barber getting those blocks again. And Jaquan Barber going again. We said we can't expect him to score these big plays week after week, but apparently he can. On 2nd and 10, a sack again for Wes Manley. And on 3rd and 18, trying to force something there. We didn't do this last week. We shouldn't have done it this week. Not seeing anybody open. Rolls to the left now. Looking to get away from this defender, but this time he gets hit, loses the ball. That's the risk you run when you're a quarterback out of the pocket. And then Trayvon Bromley making space, finding space, and off he goes. Trayvon Bromley following the good blocks. This team has gotten so much better at blocking. Ingram with his new set of downs, just rolling over people, will not be stopped, gets into the end zone and scores.
So the last time that we played the Saints, there was a Wisconsin quarterback on the team, but he was on our team. Wes Manley was the quarterback of the Ravens at the time, and Blaine Gabbert was the quarterback of the Saints at the time. And as you can see, it's a game that didn't go too well for us, but a lot, and I mean a lot, has changed since then. John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens at the time, now the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. and Sean Payton, the head coach of the Saints at the time, now the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And instead of those two guys, it's Todd Bowles, head coach of the Ravens, and some guy called D. Turner, head coach of the Saints. Let's see how the battle of all battles goes down. It's the Reboot franchise versus the Fire Sale franchise.
Here we go. This will be the biggest game of some of these players' lives. Hopefully for the Ravens players, this will be one of the biggest games, and they'll be back here soon. And this is the Ravens team that has made it all the way to the Super Bowl, coming onto the field for Super Bowl 55. And let's now take a moment to appreciate the journey this team has made to make it here for Super Bowl 55 at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas. And here come the challengers, the New Orleans Saints, last year's Fire Sale franchise led by rookie Connor Nutton. If only we had BJ Wiener starting for us. But let's kick this game off now. We obviously kick the ball away as we always like to do. The Super Bowl 55 has begun, and it begins with a touchback. Not as exciting, but they start with a run, and Tyus Bowser, all-pro Tyus Bowser, straight there for the tackle, setting up this 3rd and 11. Nutton completing over the middle to Johnson, but he's stopped short, and we get the ball here pinned against our own end zone. 1 yard line, we make it to the 3 yard line. 2nd and 7, we try and go to Stokes, he can't make their catch, and on 3rd and 7, we've got to try and get it out of the area, but we cannot, and we'll have to punt away, giving the Saints good field position, but not as bad as it could be. But they get a completion here for the first down to Doxson. 2nd and 10, they go with a run for Duke Johnson Jr., who had plenty of space up the middle, gets the first down. 2nd and 9 now, going back to Duke Johnson Jr., again making a man miss, getting another first down. Right now picking up chunk yardage for free. 2nd and goal from the 9. Nutton running away is brought down by Rashad Bass. Rashad Bass coming up with a big sack here. Nutton tried to get away from him, could not do it, could not get rid of the ball, and he's brought down, setting up this long 3rd and goal. Nutton with nobody to go to right now, just stood back there in the pocket, ends up finding Michael Thomas, but he is stopped short by Lakeith Spain, an Ohio State teammate. And on 1st and 10, Trayvon Bromley stopped just short of the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 again, and he's going again. And right now, Trayvon Bromley, not backed up against his end zone, is finding some success running the ball. On 2nd and 1, the ball is fumbled, but Tariq Cohen picks it up and picks up the first down. A great play there by Tariq Cohen. 1st and 10. And finally, our first completed pass of the game goes to Ashley Stokes at the sideline. And then we go back to Trayvon Bromley again, who finds some more space. Trucks the first man, brought down. 2nd and 2, we go to George Connor on the end around, but Cameron Jordan all over that one. A loss of a yard, something we don't see often. On a 3rd and 3, we go for George Connor on that slant. The Saints have seen that plenty of times, and they covered it well. 3rd and 4, now the Saints back with the ball after we tied the game with a field goal, and Kobe Fleener picks up the first down. Now they're going play action again after running the ball well to begin with, and they get another first down here. A catch against the sideline by the fullback. 3rd and 2, another play action going right to the same kind of player again. The play action, the pass into the flat, and they get another first down. 3rd and goal now for Nutton. He's got time in the pocket, rolling to the left, has got lots of time here, and Rashad Bass finally decides he's had enough of that, doesn't want to sit around waiting for Connor Nutton to find a man in the end zone, and he brings him down. Rashad Bass right now making impact plays. Decided he wasn't going to sit there, comes down, takes him down for a sack, shares that sack with his teammate, and they get another field goal and kick off to our danger man, Ashley Stokes here. Can he do it on the biggest stage in the game? Takes around the outside, is brought down, but it's still a good return. And now we're playing after the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 8, Trayvon Bromley with a great move there to pick up, well, not quite the first down, but a lot of yards. 3rd and 1, we give the ball to Palmer, and he picks up that first down and a lot more. Now 1 minute 11 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Vaniat goes over the middle to Kurt Wiggs, who loses the ball, but Ashley Stokes may make the most important play he's made in this game and will make in this game by recovering that fumble, keeping this drive alive. 30 seconds left on the clock. We go to George Connor at the sideline. He catches it but stays in bounds. 2nd and inches now, 14 seconds, 1 timeout left. George Connor makes the catch. We of course have to take this timeout here, and we'll have to try and go for the touchdown, and that is what we get with George Connor back of the end zone for the first touchdown of the Super Bowl. It's Philip Van Diact who cashes that one in, going to, of course, his favourite target, George Connor. And this run by the Saints will end the first half here, and the Ravens will go into the half with a 10-6 lead. The only touchdown being scored right now by the Baltimore Ravens. The New Orleans Saints not far behind, not many highlights. It's been a battle of defenses so far. Let's see if this second half is any different, and it starts here. 2nd and 9 is the first play we'll see, and we go to Kurt Weeks. just short of the first down, but it should be easy enough to pick up. 3rd and 2, we give the ball to Trayvon Bromley. And Trayvon Bromley, we saw what he did a few years ago against the Saints, and he's having a good day again today. 2nd and 2, completion to Kurt Weeks there over the middle, and now 2nd and 5. Philip Van Dijk back to pass, throwing it deep for George Connor. George Connor just didn't have a good position on it, and it's intercepted there by Cortland Hodges with the first interception, the first turnover of the Super Bowl, and it's against us. Philip Van Dijk throwing the interception. Connor was never in a position to make the play, but you see him beat cornerbacks like that on a regular basis. So on 1st and 10 from their own 3, they don't get a completion here. You know we like to be aggressive down here and cause them some troubles in their own end zone. And on 2nd and 10, they go to the fullback who manages to get round the outside and pick up a first down. They take advantage of our aggressive style down there near their own end zone. And on 2nd and 5, they're going for a pass here, and that should have been intercepted. That should have been taken back to the house maybe, but it wasn't. Instead, it's a completion. 3rd and 7 now. Again, plenty of time back here for Nutton, and he's got plenty of time to find a wide open Josh Doxson, who's tackled at the 23-yard line. Now 1st and goal at the 9, but it's a sack by the All-Pro Tyus Bowser. He's had plenty in the season. He's now getting plenty in the postseason. 2nd and goal now. They're going for a screen here, but it was well read, well diagnosed. And Mike Richardson was all over that one. And on 3rd and goal now from the 20-yard line. Another long one. He does manage to get the ball out to Snead, but he falls short, gets stopped at the 1-yard line, and of course they settled for a field goal. So now the score, 10-9. Deep throw again, and it's another interception. Back-to-back drives with an interception. We gave him a chance. The defense held, but this time they get another one. Is this going to be the turning point of the game? Messed up by the offense, throwing interceptions. The defense knows what it has to do now, though. And to be fair, it was a great play by Marshawn Lattimore and a bit of a lazy play by Ashley Stokes. But still, the defense now has to step up on 3rd and 10, does exactly that. So on 2nd and 7 now, Van Dijk in a little bit of trouble here in his own end zone. Running away, tries to throw it away, but doesn't get it out. And that is a 3rd turnover. Philip Van Dijk is having a nightmare right now. Cannot do anything right, and now the Saints lead 11-10. A tackle there by Marlon Humphrey after the first down. 2nd and 11 for the Saints. Going into the flat, Mark Ingram making people miss, and now it looks like the Saints have that momentum. Enough turnovers, and finally they know they've got the lead, and they're looking to close this game out. A big hit by Keywan Hardwick forces the fumble, but it's going right for them. They recover it themselves, and that is just how this game is going right now. 2nd and 3, and it's a completion to Josh Doxson. We're now in the 4th quarter, and the Saints have got all the momentum in the world. On 1st and goal, that should have been intercepted. That was the turning point we needed, and we don't get it. The Saints get away with one again. 3rd and goal, we do stop them, but of course they will extend this lead now to 14-10, but the defense steps up again. Now we've got to repay him. Philip Van Dijk has got to do something here, and he does it with his feet. He picks up a first down. We're stripping it all back. We're simplifying the game for him, giving him chances to run, do what he does best, and that's what he does again here, picking up another first down. He does take a bit of a hit here, but it's fine. Now we go for a simple screen, just making everything simple for him. No big decisions to make. Just make the right plays, and that's what he can do. He's got all the physical talent in the world. 1st and 10 now, 29-yard line. Van Dijk going to wide open TJ Gibbs for the first down. At the 9-yard line, he's brought down. 1st and goal. We give the ball to Trayvon Bromley. Trayvon Bromley will not be denied in the Super Bowl. He gets into the end zone for the touchdown, and we take the lead back. We take it back on the ground. It's what we do best, and Trayvon Bromley will not let this team down. 1st and 10, Duke Johnson Jr. a first down with the screenplay. 1st and 10 again, and they manage to get Tyus Bowser offsides. Looking to go for it deep over the middle. They can take the risk. They take the risk and get the first down as a reward. 35-yard line, 1st and 10. They don't have the lead anymore, but they're fighting back, and they get a first down here with Willie Snead. They want the lead back, and they're going to try and get it back. They don't get it, though, there with the run play. And on 3rd and goal, we stopped them plenty of times. Can we stop them again? Nutton looking to pass, rolls out, throws it, tight coverage, but somehow Snead makes the catch in between two defenders, two of our best defenders, and they have the lead again, 21-17. We have 1 minute, 45 seconds to get a touchdown to win the game. A field goal will not be good enough, so of course, we go to George Connor. Where else do you look? 1st and 10, and we go back to George Connor again. He's got to take over this game as he's done so often in his short career so far. Game after game, he's taken it over, and Kurt Weeks now with a big catch on 3rd and 10. 1st and 10, 21-yard line. 30 seconds left in this game. Ashley Stokes fighting out of contact. Now at the 8-yard line, giving the ball back to George Connor on an end around here, giving him the chance to get into the end zone, and he almost does it. 1-yard line, he's stopped. 2nd and goal. You know where we're going. We go to George Connor for the touchdown. With an extra point here, we will take a 3-point lead. leaving the Saints with 12 seconds to get into field goal range. George Connor does it. The man is clutch. Now the Saints are trying to get something here, but we keep them in bounds. Defense, step up again one more time. Final play, they go deep. If they make the catch and take a timeout, it's irrelevant what would have happened because they don't get it. And the Baltimore Ravens win Super Bowl 55 against the New Orleans Saints with some big-time plays being made by the defense, bailing out the offense on a couple of occasions, but the offense did what they needed to do. The game-winning drive. Philip Van Dijk put the ball where it needed to be. George Connor fought for those yards. Ashley Stokes fought for yards. Kurt Weeks makes the big catch on 3rd and 10 and holds on, but Nutton's got a promising career ahead of him. In the Super Bowl as a rookie, the game was close, but we win it here. And Rashad Peters, we do believe that is our Super Bowl MVP. But I will say now, after having gone through this game again, Rashad Bass, also an incredible performance by that man. Made the big plays when they mattered early in the game, and maybe it was his plays that kept this game as close as it was rather than having the Saints leading earlier in the game. And there are our 4 captains. We've got our 2 offensive captains, Ashley Stokes, the special teams captain, and Washington, and they're up there at the podium celebrating this huge win. And it's all thanks to that man there in the purple. It's Todd Bowles who turned this team around. He took the talent that we already had and he took them all the way to a Super Bowl. In his first season, the Reboot franchise is a Super Bowl champion franchise.
And now for the part where we talk about how this game went. And to be fair, I don't know who the MVP was because it didn't tell me. And in all honesty, I don't have a straight up choice either. I would argue probably George Connor, because with a receiver it's always a bit how about the quarterback threw him all the passes, especially if it's nothing too long like it wasn't with Connor. But Van Dijk also threw 2 interceptions. It was a decent game for him, but not good enough where you would argue he should definitely be MVP. Rushing, Trayvon Bromley did do very well, did score a touchdown. George Connor went 4 for 19. Nate Palmer had 2 nice carries as well, or at least 1 very nice carry and another first down. Philip Van Dijk started to get it a bit going with his running. George Connor, 6 receptions, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns, obviously the big thing there. Kurt Weeks again had a good game. Trayvon Bromley did a little bit. TJ Gibbs and Ashley Stokes both kind of let us down with drops and didn't do too much. Blocking, Justin Bruce. He's our best choice right now, but he still allows sacks, but I don't think anybody actually played badly on defense. And then there's Rashad Peters with 11 tackles, but also, again, not doing what we would expect from Rashad Peters in the biggest game of his career. I would have thought he'd be the guy to step up. Instead, actually, he was kind of in the area of a few touchdowns and stuff that really would like to see him stop. I mean, obvious choice would have been Gilbert Turner if he would have caught that 1 interception he should have had and taken it back to the house. So that's a shame. But, you know, Rashad Peters would always be my call anyway. But in this game, I don't know. Rashad Bass did play well. 1.5 sacks. 1 sack for Tyus Bowser. Half a sack for Tim Williams. No interceptions. We did get a forced fumble from Kewan Hardwick. And I think what we're going to have to do to find out who it was in terms that got MVP, we're going to have to obviously just look in the news and hopefully it will tell us. I think it is Rashad Peters, and in all honesty, the guy's the leader of the team anyway, so even if he's not directly making huge plays, he's always making good plays. So let's finish off this week here. We've had a Super Bowl victory, but, you know, it's back to business as usual. It's all about next season now, and we've got to scout these college players. Jordan Barrow, again, could be good because he could have B released, and everything here is B. And we're going to add him to the draft board because he's a 4th rounder, so that's the kind of guy I'd like to take a chance on. Hopefully we'll find something better here. And see, we lost him there on the C+. Now here's one I don't understand. A guy who has rated B+ catching traffic, B+ catching, B+ spectacular catch, but apparently should go undrafted. Now, of course, I don't know, the rest of his stats could be rubbish, but we're going to add him to the draft board until we've seen his combine results, because those are great numbers. But that is it. We can advance the week now and finally finish off this episode because we can find out who our Super Bowl MVP was. We will never know who Super Bowl MVP was. So it could be Kewan Hardwick. He's got a lot of XP and has AFC Defensive Player of the Week for week 22, which would theoretically be the Super Bowl. And the fact that he's got, let's take a look, 14,500 XP makes me think it was him, but it says for no one outright if they were or were not the Super Bowl MVP. I don't know who it was. Was it Trayvon Bromley who's gained 4,000 XP? George Connor would have also been my vote for MVP, and he did get a AFC Offensive Player of the Week for week 22. Now, the fact that those are also AFC, of course, they're the only AFC team playing, so someone's got to win though. I don't no. You know, I don't know who won Pro Bowl, who won MVP of the Super Bowl. If I had to say myself who it was, I would say George Conner. No one else on their own did as much as George Conner did, scoring 2 touchdowns, scoring the final touchdown, just getting stopped just short of that on a rush beforehand. But they did show that, you know, screen that they always show when they show the MVP, and it was when they were showing Rashad Peters and Kevon Hardwick. So it could be either one of those, and Kevon Hardwick has the Defensive Player of the Week award. But I don't know who the MVP was. It technically doesn't matter, but of course we would like to know. But that is it. That is it for the season. We now go into the off-season. We are Super Bowl champions in our first year under Todd Bowles. Now we can't go up from here because we are at the very top of the football mountain, but we're not going down either.